Rod Grinter, thanks very much for your time. I'm loving that outfit, and I take it you're still a very big D's man.
Yeah, good on you, Gibby. No, it's I think anyone that's followed Melbourne will be all dressed up, and I know we've seen on socials a few front yards. I've got scarves hanging on my lights out the front, and I think yeah, if you're not excited and you're a Melbourne supporter, there's something going on.
Now, the nickname Balls was one that fans grew to love. Can we confirm that that's still what you run with?
Absolutely. Anytime that gets mentioned in a crowd, not that there's been too many crowds lately, I know that there's someone that's fairly close to me. He is not far away. So, yeah, still run with that, obviously through the past players' connections and people close to the footy club. But from a family point of view, it's either Dad, Pop or Rod.
Now, you're the head of the Past Players Association, so I take it you're still well connected with the club. What does that role entail?
Yeah, being president of the past players is one of those things that I've sort of never really gone far from the footy club from when I got here when I was 17. I had a little bit of a hiatus over in Tassie for 3 years, trying to apply my coaching ability, but and then came back and got back involved as a runner for Neil. So my involvement with Melbourne has been long and one that I've really enjoyed and do with a lot of passion. Just love, I'm a fairly social person, so I love that connectivity with other past players, and pretty much that's what we're there to do as a past players committee, is to try and make sure that everybody stays connected. And if anybody needs any support or needs advice on anything, well, we can reach out to a vast majority of people to try and help them out. So it's all about just getting together and helping one another out.
Has that connection and communication lifted recently, although via Zoom or via phone calls, but with the finals and the excitement coming?
100%. There's a lot of different apps that are out there, but the WhatsApp group that probably everyone listening, watching this will have different WhatsApp groups for different people. But yeah, the Melbourne one goes mad, especially after that Geelong game. That was just an amazing experience. Even though I was in the lounge room all by myself watching that, it was unreal. And then pick up your phone and have a look at what's going on at other people's houses on your WhatsApp group. It's quite funny and exciting.
Your last season on field was 1994. This team now, have you seen a team so strong since then?
No, not really. And I think just the way, to finish on top of the ladder and play the way that the boys have been playing. And I think, you talk to anyone that's been involved in a premiership at an AFL level, let alone not just an AFL level, but you've got to have things going your way. And I think this year, everything seems to be going our way. Even leading into the finals, teams that weren't expected to be beaten were beaten, and just all these little things. And from an injury point of view, touch wood, we've been apart from Tomo and Hunty of late, we haven't really been impacted in that area. So those sort of things all go well in the finals. So fingers crossed that can stay that way. And I think as far as the team goes, well, how many do we have? I think we had 5 All-Australians, 7 in the squad. We've just, obviously it's been building for a long time to get to this point. So let's hope it's not get to hopefully the top and then fall off. Hopefully it's a sustainable group that can stay together and have some long-term success.
A lot of the boys are new to finals. Were you impressed with how they handled that against Brisbane?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's really been impressive all year, is just the way that their attitude is towards their footy. And there's been a noticeable change just from the couch. The way that they've played this year, they've played for one another, not for themselves. There's been a big shift in that area. So the way that they've played throughout the year, and then obviously going into a final, coming off that massive comeback against Geelong, obviously would have given them great belief. But I've been bullish all year, and as Demon supporters, we don't like to sort of get too ahead of ourselves. But no, I've been daring to dream, and I've said it a couple of times that I think in a couple of weeks' time, I'll wake up and realise that it wasn't a dream.
Hopefully. We're obviously in lockdown back in Victoria. How much joy has the footy brought you and your family?
It's amazing what outlet it gives you. Just that connection with other people that have got the same feeling and the same supportive and an interest of something similar. The family are always here, whether it's footy, whether it's something else. But that football, you look forward to it each week, and not having footy last week as far as Melbourne was concerned. You sort of get out in the backyard. You don't worry about things. You just go about what you would normally do. And then, this week, I'm nervous, bloody nervous. So I know it's a different story when you're a player. You just go about what you have to do, and you do it. But yeah, it's been a real outlet for everyone.
Personally, you played in 11 finals throughout your career. Were you a nervous operator? Were you excited? How did you go setting up for the big stage?
No, I think. Well, I was never really nervous, and I think that's one of the things that players probably, when you sit back and you reflect on it, you go, that happens so quickly, and you didn't really think too much about it. And I'm sure that's what the current boys are doing. They're just going about their business, But for me, going back to try and reflect on those finals, it wasn't something that I was really nervous about. I remember the grand final, getting ready. My dad came down from the country with a friend of his who was obviously coming to the grand final, and I was in the lounge room because we had to wear a uniform. We had to wear a shirt and tie and a jacket and pants. So my dad's friend couldn't believe that I was just in the lounge room ironing my shirt to get ready to go to the footy on the biggest day of AFL calendar. It was so it was one of those things that I think you didn't take for granted by any means, but it was just what you did.
You were a tough physical sort of a player. Does that lead you to like the sorts of Jack Viney, or who's your favourite player to watch?
Oh, look, I love them all. But look, I obviously grew up with Jack, being close with Todd, and seeing him grow up as a young kid to being a young man and a father, the way that he plays is really no surprise. Seeing him grow up, he was a hard nut as a kid, and just around the house with Max, the way that he used to punch on with Max, and then Todd would try and catch Jack and couldn't catch him. It's all quite funny. But look, favourite players. Obviously the connection there with the Vineys is, and Jack. And I just love the way Max handles himself. I know he's our captain. I know he kicked that goal to win that game against Geelong and all those things, and he's a 5-time All-Australian, all of those things that we all know about Max. But, it's an easy one to say, but he is such a pivotal part of our team, and just the way that he leads and the way that he presents himself, I think is a real calming factor across the whole group.
And just one on Geelong, obviously they have had success for a long period of time. What are your expectations heading into this Friday night?
To beat them. But look, finals, as we all know, you just never know what's going to happen. The way that we've gone all year sets us up for a great battle. Geelong, hopefully a few of them are a bit sore, and we're coming off a week's break, so we'll be fresh, running on top of the ground. And and it doesn't matter what stage the game is at and what position we are in the game. I'm sure Goody and all the coaches will be saying, remember round 22 or 3 or whatever it was, that last time we played Geelong, it's not over until it's over. So, no, I'm really excited and looking forward to a magnificent game, and Melbourne obviously winning.
Absolutely. Hope you're right. Thanks very much for your time. Really appreciate your support.
Righto, mate. No worries. Thanks, mate.